All right, welcome to Ink Pub. I am here today with Arash, who is going to give us a little intro, and then we're going to dive into some questions. Arash has been around in the Inked Pub world in so many anthologies, I can't even count at this point. I'd have to go through and dig it. But anyway, thank Arash. How you doing?
Pretty good, thanks. Nice to talk to you again, Kevin. Yeah, I'll just do the intro then. It's my name is A.R.R. Ash, but you can, Arash is works for, a shorthand. I write mostly dark fantasy, but a lot of the anthologies I've been in, particularly with Inkpub, have been in all a variety of different things. Gave me the opportunity to try different genres, which was actually with a lot of fun, mysteries and spooky and horror. Which so yeah, it was good times.
Well, definitely have had a wide variety there, but I always through it there is a style and voice that comes through. So I know you've been working on a lot of projects, and I know you have some upcoming releases. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what the upcoming projects are and the release plan, if you have it, and where we can find them when they are released.
For sure. So I do. I have let me see, about four to six novels done. Because I actually had to split a couple of them up that were really long. They're completed. One of them has just two of them have finished editing. Um, Cover is done for one of them. Another one editing is starting in next month. So they're in various stages, but they're done. The writing is done, barring like what editing brings up, I guess, and the covers. And I had released my first book a while ago, but it just takes me so long to actually to write, work, life, just trying to tell the story the way I wanted to, that I decided to finish up. I have all these books done, and now I can go ahead and release them on some time frame. I do not have that yet. I need to sit down and work out a plan. The marketing and that's the stuff I suck at. I hate. I like the writing part. So I got to sit down and work on a actual plan. So I will definitely put that out once I have one. But the books are done. Editing and covers are in process. Like I said, another four. It's going to be about probably six books at this point. Then, and I'm finishing up. I think the sixth is what I'm currently writing the sixth. So yeah.
And now you mainly do through Amazon, but you also have links through your website, correct?
Yes, so I do distribute through what was Smashwords, now Draft to Digital as well. So it's on Kobo, Barnes and Noble, all of those, for the digital copy. Um, Physical copies are available through Amazon, and Draft to Digital does do physical copies as well. I haven't used that service with them yet. I will going forward now that Smashwords has switched to Draft to Digital.
Right. So that'll get up to like Barnes and Noble online and bookstore.org and everything. Draft to Digital's retail hits all those. So
Awesome.
pretty wide, right?
Yeah, yeah. No, I like the service a lot. Like I was very happy with Smashwords, and what I've seen of Draft to Digital so far has been pretty good. So
So I've read some of your um, published and unpublished, but I know I'd like if you would, a little idea about. Let, let's go with maybe what you've already published. If you don't want to break the secret of what's coming out, but just to give people an idea of what you do write about and your style. I mean, you've said grimdark, but exactly, what is the components of some of what you write?
yeah, for sure. I write in my, I guess, label, the name that I call my world, like kind of like Forgotten Realms of Dragonlance. I call it Legends, Myths, and Prophecies. So it comprises, I don't know, literally, I have lore for a lot, hundreds of worlds. But the stories right now are taking place. I have two different series going um, on two different worlds right now. The Skeletal Throne is the one that has the first one book out already. That's on a world ruled by vampires and humanity is going extinct. And well, which also will cause the vampires to go extinct as well. And then the other one is another world where humanity is oppressed by the other races, dwarves, elves, goblins, and such. That's the first Godling series. And again, so you can see that's a theme in my writing, humanity not in a good spot. And in both cases, you have characters who are shaped by their conditions to act out. And yeah, they're very different characters, and they end up taking very different paths. But the just the starting point of humanity not being in a good spot is a thread there.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm sure people will enjoy it when it comes out because I know I do. Um, so you're working on your sixth novel for release
Hmm.
presently.
Yes.
Um, af so is that where you're going to pause for a minute, or do you have something planned right behind this? And if so, is it within the same world? And can you give us any hints?
No, for sure. So the sixth right now is the third book of the Skeletal Throne series, which is now which is has expanded into it's no longer a trilogy. It's going to be four books because the first book ended up being so long that I needed to split it. And that actually ended up the same thing happened with the first book of the first Godling series called Thy Descent. Um, that got split into two books as well. So the sixth book my sixth novel that I am working on right now is the um, third is going to be the third overall or fourth overall book for the Skeletal Throne series, and then I will write the fourth overall book for the first Godling series. And I I'll have to see where they end up. May or may not continue. The character Zai will continue in his own way, almost certainly. And I have ideas for other stories within this shared universe. All of them coming together to tell a bigger story, right? I do have some of my short stories that take place within the universe might tell isolated stories or little one-offs for some of the other characters,
Right.
but the novels overall combine to form a larger picture and tell a larger story.
All right. Well, good. So on top of writing novels, you've been producing games. So what was that like for you? A little sideline there.
Yeah, it was a fun experience. It started off, I ran a campaign for my brother and niece and nephew and everything. And it was my brother's actually who also writes. He had the great idea of turning it into something publishable instead of my scribble scrabble and my notes from the adventure. So from the campaign. It was a 13 adventure campaign, and he put a lot of the work into making it presentable. And then ran the Kickstarter, and it was a successful Kickstarter, which is really nice to see. And we've gotten excellent feedback on it. Like it's a good looking, like I don't know, maybe that's people brag, but it's a good looking product. It's a good adventure. It is geared towards kids, so it is very different than what I normally do. And I remember, in writing some of the descriptions and different things, my brother would get back to me. He's like, this is for kids, right? I'm like, yeah, my bad. So I'd have to go back and tone it down a little bit. But yeah, it was a fun experience. And I like seeing, such a nice product out there with my name on it. We've already done the second and third campaigns to continue to tell again, an overall story arc. We're still play testing the second campaign before we start finalizing anything, but that is something we want to do in the future for that. And mentioning games as a side note, I'm not sure, maybe I mentioned this to you or not. I'm actually not sure. In my novels, I mentioned a game that some of the characters play called Three Armies. and I want to develop the rules of that game as well. So I've been working on that very, very slowly. Like that's not something I'm spending a lot of time on, but in free moments here or there, working out the rules for that game as well. So it'll be actually, an actual game that was mentioned in the book will be playable.
Nice,
Uh,
nice. All right. So the name of the game that you and your brother have already published, and
wonder
where it can be found.
that is a good point. It's Wilds of Amaranth, Save the Dog Kingdom. And it's available Amazon and Drive. We've actually, so my brother actually put up a few one-off adventures also with from that on Drive Through RPG. But Amazon, you can get it. I'm not I'll tell you the truth, I'm not positive if it's available every like Kobo and all those places. I believe Barnes and Noble. Um, you can get a hard copy or a digital copy. But the hard copy is when it comes to role-playing books, for me, I always get hard copies.
Yeah,
That's what I prefer. But
yeah.
yes, thank you for reminding me to even mention the name. I'm bad at this.
Yes. The marketing side is not your, but I will try to get that information into the YouTube piece so that they can get some.
Yeah, I can get the exact sites for sure. Like I know Amazon for certain and Drive Through RPG, but I can
Yeah,
see
yeah.
figure out where.
Well, you know that we have them in our bookstore, and so that's already been, a thing that we've got.
Oh
So
yes.
that's another place you can get it. Madison Used Books over in Madison, Florida, where you'll never go drive by. It's a tiny little rural town. All right. So present and future projects. Um, Anything on your top of your excitement list that you're most excited to jump into, or just pretty much business as usual?
No, I mean I am excited now that I'm finally at the stage where I'm getting all these stories that I've written, edited, and and covers made, and it's just I got to figure out a plan to get them out. So no, I am excited about finally being able to put those out into the world.
Good.
Yeah, it's because it's fun to write, but I don't know about everybody. You want to share it too, right?
Yep.
So
Well, we'll try to make sure that we mention it through Ink Pub here or there, just so that people do find it, because you don't like social media, and I know that.
that 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 may be a part of having to do this whole marketing thing is start some of that. I'm gonna have to look into it. We'll see. But yes, for everybody, I do not have social media at the moment. I have a website, LM LMP Legend Myths and Prophecies books. So lmpbooks.com. But yeah, no social media yet. Could be coming. Yeah.
We'll keep trying to get them to get there. All right. So I'm going to ask real quick.
Yes.
What are you reading, and of what you've read in the past year or so, anything you're going to recommend?
So, my favorite thing that I've read somewhat recently is the Expanse series. It was phenomenal. It's not the most recent thing I've read, but it's fairly new, and the writing is excellent from a technical standpoint, from a storytelling standpoint. Um, the characters are super well developed. Like they seem real, even if you don't necessarily like all the characters or relate to the characters. Like they're developed real characters that you understand. And just the culture, like creating the whole Belter culture and all of that. So I really enjoy the Expanse, and it's competing with Dune now for my favorite
Mhm.
series of all time. I have gotten into reading mysteries more. I just decided like I just decided like, oh, this actually is a fun genre. And I read the entire recently read the entire the collected works of Hercule Poirot by Agatha Christie, the short stories, like
Right.
52, 53 short stories. I went through all those. Of course I've read Sherlock Holmes before, which again loved. So if you're into mysteries, those are good starting points. I am currently finishing the Witcher series,
Okay.
is what I'm reading right now.
All right. All right. Well, we're coming up on 15 minutes, Arash. I do really appreciate you meeting up with me and giving us a chance to chat a little bit about your work going on. And I'll get this up on YouTube in a little while. We'll have some links in there, and if you come up with more links that we can add in, we will, so that people can follow through on the projects you're working on. So thank you for coming out today.
No, awesome, man. Thanks for having me.